I think to acknowledge the female body has not been done on screen at all. A true coming-of-age story for a young woman. I mean, I've tasted moments that feel like me. I've tasted moments where I feel reflected, and they're usually smaller films that nobody else has seen or things that are just not on the forefront of the conversation. And I can't wait to sort of take a woman and turn her inside out.
Are you ready, Kristen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ready? Let's go. Bonjour, Kristen Stewart.
Bonjour.
I really like the fact that Crimes of the Future questions the transformations of our bodies, their future, their meanings. I know it's very important for you, and I'm wondering what kind of tool is the body for you as an actress?
It's everything. I mean, even your brain is your body. So I think like sort of living in a world where your feelings are becoming obsolete because there's a few degrees of separation. There are like many screens between us, not to sound like an old person like saying cliche things, but like,
true.
Yeah, it's just hard to touch each other, to think that we'd have to actually slice each other open to feel something. It's a kind of beautiful, tender way of looking at things, even though it's a little extreme.
I know you don't like to rehearse, for instance, because you're looking for something surprising to happen in front of the camera. Precisely what happens through your body, what kind of electricity when you act?
I mean, that's definitely what you hope for and have no control over whatsoever. It's like the temperature in the room and absolutely every single body on set, who you're playing with.
You mean some kind of connection?
Yeah, it's like there's just a certain alchemy that's there or not there. If you have to dig so deep that you're straining, it's just not fun. It's really nice when you feel like something happens to you and suddenly you're just having an experience.
I love this cue in David Cronenberg's movie. We have to fill the body with meaning. What do you make of that sentence? What does it mean to you?
I think it's just really easy to lose sight of how important it is to kind of just acknowledge what you feel like. Sometimes the most alive I've ever felt is when I'm in like, the most turmoil, and to kind of celebrate that and not try and numb yourself to it is one way to live. And some people sort of ignore themselves. It's just really nice to acknowledge how intense it is to have one.
Personally, but also in a collective dimension, to what extent is the body political for you? To what extent does it always say something about society? I know these are very important questions for you.
It's weird because we believe in individualism. We're all ourselves. We get to choose to be exactly who we are, and yet we're all the same. And so how could we hate each other, and how could we try and sort of make rules for other people's bodies? It actually kind of, to find words for that actually isn't possible for me, because I would rather just scream. There's something so compassionate about his perspective, as critical as he is of the world, and kind of aware of how the evolution is terrifying and quite possibly leading to complete destruction. There's still such a tender celebration of heart. I feel like his movies are sometimes kind of hard to look at, but they make you want. They make you desire. They never repel me, even the most gnarly ones.
And they say something about society, about the world too. Do you feel something is changing, or that a change is going to come?
Of course. I think we're completely screwed, and also probably never better.
Kristen, to what extent for you cinema, which is an art of representation, can change something?
Well, it sort of forces you to feel things. It's really important to make choices and actually realize where you are, and sometimes zoom out and not be so like this, and actually go, okay, for a second I'm going to try and actually think about where I fit into all of this and what it means. And movies can help you do that. And also, sure, they can be fun and entertaining, but really we can get closer to each other. We can shock each other into thinking and being and existing.
But also, being an actor is quite a strange job, isn't it? Because you can easily feel your body doesn't belong to you anymore. You're literally observed, photographed all the time. How do you deal with that? Like,
I have this like impulse to like want to not be looked at and not be. I don't have public Instagram or I'm not even talking about being like, yeah, I want to be seen, but I definitely want to be had. I want to be looked at because I want to have like group experiences. Being an actor is the weirdest, most like exhibitionist. It's like the strangest thing to want to do, especially because I'm like not like shy anymore per se, but I'm still kind of an introvert, which I think is why I love acting. Because I'm like in that way I can sort of take it all up.
But it's interesting. We were talking about the meaning of our bodies. How did you impose your own narrative of what you are, whatever people say? How did you say, fuck it, I don't care?
It's pretty easy.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's so much more fun. I feel no pressure. if you just decide not to look at what other people want from you, I don't feel like I'm breaking any rules. I kind of gravitate towards stories that I find beautiful, and I try to crack them open and crack myself open. And
because the movie choices are also important. I mean, you choose the stories you want to tell.
it's everything. Yeah, that's the way I'm spending my life. You find yourself on a movie for like 2 months and it's like not going well, and you're like, this was months. That is, I shouldn't be here. Like, you have to be really discerning.
Kristen, how do you see Hollywood today, an industry that you've known for a very long time, since you were a child? How do you fit in Hollywood?
Just like this.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like, I hate that we call our business a business, that it's like, oh, it's the movie industry, because it just really implies that we're selling something. And as much as I want to reach as many people as I possibly can, and there's a sort of like commodified version of this, it's why being at Cannes is so fun, because like, I don't feel like I'm selling this movie right now. Dude, we are here to have weird conversations about weird movies. And there is nowhere else like that.
True.
So I don't know how I fit in Hollywood, but I feel like I take up some space, and that's okay, and I'm happy with my little spot, and I like to sort of like bridge gaps.
But I heard Jodie Foster told you when you were 11 on the set of Panic Room, you're too smart to be an actress forever. You won't bear what goes with it. You should be a filmmaker.
I am.
You are now.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
Why did you decide to become a filmmaker?
My sort of drive towards wanting to be an actor and wanting to be a director and a writer is the very exact same thing. My favorite experiences with directors are when we are sharing every feeling, and I don't like to do it alone. And so if I have a director sort of behind the monitor saying like, do this, do that, and I'm going to do my job, you're going to do yours, I am literally flat. Like, I have nothing. Like, I need to share it with someone. And so I want to find somebody and kickstart their engine and say, go, and just see what I can get them to do.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.